Mark and Lisa, young and in love, found what seemed like the perfect apartment nestled in the heart of the city. It was a fresh start, a new chapter in their lives together. The apartment, with its high ceilings and large windows, seemed to welcome them with open arms. The first week was a blur of unpacking and decorating, turning the empty space into a home. They laughed and danced in their new living room, their love filling every corner of the apartment. But as the days passed, a subtle change began to creep over them. It started with small things: misplaced items, forgotten conversations, a feeling of unease that neither could quite place. Sleep became elusive. They tossed and turned, plagued by nightmares that slipped away upon waking, but left a lingering sense of dread. The apartment, once so full of light, seemed to darken, the shadows growing deeper. Mark began to hear whispers, faint and indistinct, like echoes of conversations just out of reach. He searched the apartment, but found no source for the sounds. Lisa, too, felt eyes on her when she was alone, a gaze she could never quite meet. The air grew heavy, oppressive. Time seemed to warp and bend within the walls of the apartment. Hours would pass in the blink of an eye, or stretch out interminably. The couple found themselves increasingly isolated, the outside world receding like a distant memory. Arguments started, small at first, then growing in intensity. Accusations flew, fueled by an unseen force that seemed to feed on their anger and confusion. Mark found the first note hidden in a drawer, a simple message scrawled in shaky hand. Never again. The meaning was unclear, but its presence sent a chill down his spine. The apartment itself began to change. Doors would lock and unlock of their own accord. The lights flickered and buzzed, casting strange shadows that seemed to move just beyond the edge of vision. Lisa became withdrawn, her eyes haunted. She whispered of voices that called to her in the night, promising freedom from the madness that had enveloped them. Mark awoke one night to find Lisa standing by the window, staring out into the darkness. She spoke of a presence in the apartment, an entity that had latched onto them, feeding off their fear. Desperate, Mark suggested they leave, but Lisa refused. She claimed it was too late, that the entity had bound them to the apartment, a claim that filled Mark with a paralyzing terror. The days blurred together, a nightmarish loop of fear and despair. The couple felt themselves slipping, losing pieces of their sanity like leaves in the wind. On the final day, Mark awoke to find Lisa writing frantically at the kitchen table. She handed him a note, her eyes empty, her voice a hollow echo. Never again, it read. Understanding dawned, a terrible clarity. They could not escape. Not in life. The entity had ensnared them completely, a malevolent force that sought only to consume. They made a pact then, a final act of defiance against the entity that had destroyed their lives. Together, they would end it, freeing themselves from the apartment's malevolent grip. Their last moments were spent in each other's arms, a bittersweet farewell to a love that had once promised a lifetime of happiness. The note they left behind was a warning, a plea to whoever came next. Never again. A simple message, but one with heavy meaning. The apartment sat empty after that, a silent tomb. The entity within lay dormant, waiting for new souls to ensnare in its web of madness and despair. And so the cycle would continue. The apartment a trap for the unwary, its walls echoing with the whispers of the lost, a reminder of the fate that awaited those who dared to enter.